Hello and welcome back to this other, yet another day of doing this. Too much foundation. My skin is so white. So we're going to do understanding the racial hierarchy of Korea. So we're finally in Korea. We're going to talk about the racial hierarchy and also revisit what it is, what it means to, what is the racist system, right? Along with the terms prejudice and discrimination, because all these terms are different, okay? We're gonna go over, was it prejudice, discrimination, and racism? They are different things. All right, so the contents, we're gonna watch a video, and then we're gonna revisit the ideology of racism, the racial hierarchy in Korea. And then we're going to do migrant videos, videos about migrant workers in Korea. And I think that will be the end of part 1. And then part 2, we will do the quiz. And then we'll talk about the pyramid of hate and Maslow's pyramid. So today we are going to be seeing a lot of rectangles, a lot of pyramids. So let's start with this video.
한국 사람이 외국에 나가서 아시안이라고 차별을 받는 게 더 심할까요? 아니면 한국 사람이 한국 안에서 다른 나라 사람들한테 하는 차별이 더 심하다고 생각을 하세요?
저는 한국 사람들이 한국 안에 살고 있는 외국인들한테 하는 차별이 좀 더 심하다고 생각해요.
한국 사람들 웬만하면 그냥 피부색만으로도 선입견을 가지고서 비교를 해버리니까 좀 한국에는 좀 비교 문화가 좀 아직까지도 많이 발달을 했잖아요. 그것 때문에 외국보다는 인종차별이 많이 심하게 나타나고 있어요.
이미 미국은 다른 나라 사람들도 많이 살고 있고 뭐 히스패닉이나 다양한 인종들이 살고 있어서 그런 다 같이 어우러지는 삶을 되게 당연하게 생각하는 것 같은데 한국 사회에서는 나 이외에 다른 인종이 있다는 것 자체가 되게 이질적이라고 생각하는 것 같아요. 그래서 한국 사회의 구성원이 아니라 그냥 한국 사회에 약간 잠깐 발을 들여놓거나 언젠간 나갈 사람? 이런 식으로 이미 단정을 지어놓고 생각을 하는 것 같아요.
우리도 외국에 나가서 차별받지 않기를 원하잖아요. 그런 것처럼 한국에 있는 외국인들한테도 똑같은 마음으로 대하고 해야 된다고 생각해요.
Yes, in this video, Korean people are aware. They understand that foreigners, especially non-white foreigners, like South Asians, Indian people, people from Africa, they experience a lot of racism and discrimination here in Korea, and many Koreans know this, right? And that is what we are going to talk about today. And how to make it better, really. So first thing, right? What we know so far about racism or the racial hierarchy and the ideology of racism. Okay. First, the global racial hierarchy was created by white people or Europe. This is true for the last 500 years. Okay, 500 years. Knowing that racism is a system, not just a few bad people's negative behavior. Often they say, only a few people are racist. This is not true because racism is inside all of our institutions. This is true for America. This is true for the Philippines, and this is true for Korea, right? What are systems or institutions like law, government, policies, right? A healthcare system, yes. There is a racism in the healthcare system. For example, a white person or a Korean person will get good treatment versus someone who has darker skin, right? Maybe a Filipino, Vietnamese, or Indian person have darker skin, so maybe they will get bad treatment in hospital, right? Education, we will get into this. Who is getting bullied? Whose history is being taught? Traditional media. In a lot of K-pop, K-drama, K-movies, the bad people are always people with dark skin, right? This is true in America too. right? Whether it is Black people or Mexican people in America. Social media, yes, this is how information spread. Service sector, food service, accommodation, hotels, transportation, all of these things, okay, is a little bit discrimination here, a little bit discrimination there, forms a big system called racism. Okay? Not only small things, it's small, many small things create big system called racism. Yeah. Housing, finance, law enforcement. Who does the police believe? Okay? In Korea, if a Korean man and let's say Indonesian man were to fight, who will the Korean police believe? Right? All other systems in society. So again, you have to think about racism as a big system. Okay? Next. So unconscious bias. Okay, let's now talk about unconscious bias. Okay, unconscious bias or prejudice is unconscious. You're not conscious. It is not deliberate. It is, you do not decide. You do not say, oh, today I will be racist. No. It is unconscious bias, okay? A term that describes the associations we hold outside our conscious awareness, okay? And control. We do not control, we do not know. Unconscious bias affects everyone. Unconscious bias is triggered by our brain automatically making quick judgments and assessments. Okay? So for example, when you see a Black man come into the room, something happens to your brain, unconscious bias. What do you, criminal, bad, blah, 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 right? When you see a white person come into the room, unconscious bias, okay? And it is, you do not say, now I will be racist. No. Most of it is unconscious, okay? Example, at a hospital, if a Black woman has medical emergency and a white woman also has a medical emergency, who do you think will the doctor see first? Okay? The doctor is not good or bad. It is unconscious. Nee. So let's look at this. Let's see how powerful unconscious bias is, okay, through these two videos and how young we get this message. This is experiments that was done in America that they did in Italy and also in Singapore. Right?
Quale bambola è bianca? Quale bambola è nera? Quale delle due è bella?
Questa.
Qual è quella bella? Qual è quella brutta? E qual è quella buona? Quale è cattiva? Qual è buona?
Lei.
Perché è buona?
Perché ha gli occhi celesti.
Quale è cattiva? Perché è cattiva?
Perché è tutto nero.
E qual è la bambola che ti somiglia di più?
These are only 4 years old, 5 years old, 4 years old, and they already get message that black skin is bad. Okay, and if you have black skin, you are bad, right? 네. So if you have black skin, you are bad, right? And they are only children. Okay, and already they believe this in their heads. Okay? And that it is best to be white. So imagine that self-concept. I am bad because I have black skin. And they already believe it, and they are children. Okay? And this is global, by the way. The whole world believes this. Again, 500 years of history. Right? Another video. This one is from Singapore.
The first one. Yeah, this one. Because the skin is shiny. This one. This one. This one. Because this is baby. Because the brown is so dark. He is no cute. I think this one. Chinese I don't really like. One play with me and all the other never play with me. Because I like the peach color. This one. This one. This is the third one. Because I just know brown is smart. Because my father is smart. This one. Because the skin almost the same. Because it's dark brown. This one. This doll. I want to be born peach color.
Hi, everyone. What do you think about her?
She has brown skin.
She does have brown skin. She has a name. Her name is Shanti.
Shanti.
I'm going to go on to the next one. Well, who's this? Okay, but her name is Shah. Okay. Okay. His name is Raj. Joe. What's her name? Do you remember? Shah. That's right. Okay, we'll see who can remember. Who's this?
Rita.
Rita.
She's smiling.
And how about this one?
Yeah.
She likes to dance. Why do you think she likes to dance?
Because she has skirt.
Because she has a skirt, she likes to dance? Okay, what about this guy?
But I think he loves to wash his teeth.
They made stuff up, but to my mind, that was a striking thing. Put a name there, and suddenly these become people, they have imaginary lives. There's a story there that the children want to know about.
By encouraging kids to categorize each face even further as individuals with their own names, instead of the broader marker of race, it can reduce their implicit racial bias.
So, yeah, notice at the end of this, right? The results are a little bit different, but it's kind of still very similar. All the children, okay, all the children still wanted to be the white doll. right? She said she is like this, but she wants to be this, okay? It creates a feeling of inferiority. So when you have dark skin, you already feel like less of a person, right? By the way, in Singapore, there is a racial hierarchy that I will show you. It's usually Chinese people at the white people and Chinese people at the top, and then Malay, and in the middle, people like from the Indonesian peninsula, and then Indian people at the bottom. Okay, so light, right, dark, darkest. Like that's why there are 3 dolls here. And all of them said they all want to be lighter, right? And these are only children. So again, if you have dark skin, you already feel less, okay? And these are ages 4 to 6 children, and that is a fact. The whole world, by age 4, right? They say age 3 to 4, everyone knows that it is best to be white, okay? And that is white supremacy. Again, it is unconscious. 네. So, yeah, it is unconscious, okay? You do not think this. You're not actively thinking about this, okay? So, unconscious bias, if the doll test were given to Korean children, so this is now text to world connection, right? What do you think the results will be? Okay? This is a picture of the Little Mermaid. Western media accuse sort of Korea and China, right? They did not want to see this movie because the new Little Mermaid is a black woman, right? And this is a video from Asian boss saying that no, Koreans are not racist, blah blah blah. But I say, well, I think part of it is unconscious bias, right? Unconscious bias is dangerous because it drives your behavior and you don't know it does. For example, the movies you decide to watch, the people you decide to respect, tourists, teachers, foreign workers, right? I think I read somewhere that university students don't respect people of color, right, like me, compared to white teachers or Korean teachers, right? I read this online on Wikipedia, right? But yeah, studies have shown this. Who you choose to be friends with, right? If you are higher, if you are white, or East Asian, you're higher. If you are Southeast Asian, South Asian, African, you are lower. So you only want to be friends with people same level or higher, right? Next. So now we're going to talk about discrimination. So we talk about unconscious bias and prejudice, meaning it's in your head, okay? It is not conscious, okay? Discrimination is unconscious bias, prejudice put in action. This is now action outside of your body. Discrimination is an act done in the real world. 네. For example, a restaurant not letting children inside. This is discriminating against children. I think that this was in the news in Korea. Okay, a woman not wanting to talk to men. That is also discrimination. Okay, discrimination means it's a conscious decision and you do not want to do. Okay, dating only rich people is also conscious and that is discrimination. So anyone can discriminate, right? Everyone has unconscious bias and everyone can discriminate, okay? I can discriminate against a Korean person. I can discriminate against anyone, okay? Everyone can discriminate, okay? And everyone has unconscious bias. 네. So again, discrimination is action, okay? Last one. So we went over prejudice and unconscious bias. Now let's talk about racism, right? Racism, like I said, is a system. We know this, okay? Racism is discrimination plus power. That is it, okay? Basically, it is discrimination, but you need power to be racist. Okay? For example, right, a Korean club in Itaewon that does not let foreigners in is racism. Okay? Because that has institutional power. Okay? Because that is backed by Korea, the country, and the laws of Korea, right? The media of Korea, the news of Korea. So if a club in Korea does not let in foreigners, that is racism because that has institutional power. 네. But if an Indian woman who will not date a Korean man in Korea is discrimination. Okay? She says, I do not want to date Korean men. That is discrimination. That is not racism because an Indian woman does not have institutional power. 알겠어요? Okay? So racism is again discrimination, all right, plus power. And all these systems, who controls all these systems? Right? You can say in Korea, Koreans control all these systems, yes, but in the world, right? In the world, white people, right? Example of this is like, the double eyelid surgery, right? The faces in Korea has to be like white people, or Japanese anime. Why are Japanese anime characters white, right? So racism is inside the country, but it is also global, where white people are on top. Okay? Also, racism like sexism. Sexism is basically, sexist discrimination plus power. Okay? Women can discriminate against men. Okay? That is discrimination. If men discriminate against women, that is sexism, okay? Because that is sexist discrimination plus power, okay? Men have more power in society. Homophobia, the same thing, okay? For example, a gay person can say, I do not want to talk to straight people. That is only discrimination. It does not have power, only one-to-one, okay? But if a straight person were to say, I do not want to let gay people in my business, I don't know how they will do that. But that is now homophobia because it is a system. Racism is cumulative. It is many acts of discrimination and prejudice that gather into a single message from the larger system. The message given through many interaction is as a person, you are of lesser value and you deserve less respect. Yes, your history, your culture, your perspective is of no value. Okay? So, I've also experienced racism in Korea, like in banking. Not often, right? Not often. But a few times, right? In the bank one time, at a cafe another time, right? Even in my last school, right? One Korean teacher was very racist towards me. So all of those things, right? It can be very painful, right? But they all sort of gather together, right, to form an experience, that is very negative and painful for a foreigner, right? And some students too. And the curriculum. Oh my God, I'll talk about the curriculum later. This is the U.S. racial hierarchy. Okay, this is hierarchy in the US. Notice how in all hierarchies, there's always the sort of skin, right? Or white people are on top, black people at the bottom, right? This is in America, German and Irish, and then Italians over here, white Latinos over here in America, right? WASPs. And then in the middle are honorary white people, right? Japanese, Chinese. What is this? Multiracial, meaning half white and half light-skinned. And then finally, the collective black people. These are, Cambodians, black people, Hmong. You can put Filipinos, Vietnamese, Thai here, okay? Next one, this is the British. Well, the white people are the British, and then Northwestern Central Europeans. What are these? Are these like the Turkish, right? And then Southern Europeans, these are the Turkish people, Eastern Europeans, Asians, always in the middle, and then Aboriginal and Africans. Okay, again, dark skin, light skin, hierarchy, same, right? This is in China, Hong Kong. Chinese people are on top. White people are like the honorary Chinese, then Japanese, Koreans, and then the slightly darker Asians, South Asians, and then another layer of dividing Filipinos, Malaysians, and Vietnamese. Okay, and then the Africans, and then over here are West Asians or Middle Easterns. Oh, and this is South Asians. Again, still light, dark, right? Now let's go to, and this came from an article that was published in 2020. This is the Korean racial hierarchy. Often Koreans say Korea does not have a problem with racism because it is a homogeneous society. This is not true, okay? All countries have issues with racism, anti-blackness, and white supremacy because Korea does not belong in a vacuum. You are part of the world, right? Korea does business with the world, and you see Hollywood movies and American pop culture in Korea. That has a lot of racism in it, okay? Philippines too, all over the world, okay? This is the Korean racial hierarchy, right, from this article, okay? Understanding Koreanness, racial stratification, meaning hierarchy, and colorism in Korea and implications for Korean multicultural education. Yeah. So Koreans are at the very top in Korea, and then there are the honorary Koreans, right? Other East Asians, like these are the Japanese, the Chinese, light-skinned Central Asians, like Uzbekistan, right? Korean white multiracial, like babies between white and Koreans, light-skinned non-Koreans. These are white people, okay? And then there's the collective dark people, Southeast Asian migrants, which we will talk about. Korean, South Asian multiracial babies. These are the Kopinos, right? Middle Eastern, dark skinned non-Koreans, and black people always at the bottom, right? It's, again, all throughout the world, there is this hierarchy where light-skinned people and then dark-skinned people, right? Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to watch a video, and you're gonna write the vocabulary, okay? And then we will discuss it, okay? This will be the first part of the video where we will do vocabulary. Next time, we are going to discuss the video. Anyway, please write down this vocabulary in your notebook, okay? 1 to 13, I will give you 35 seconds to write these down. Listen to me as I pronounce them, okay? Or you can say it after me, okay? The first one, number 1 is demand for migrant workers. Number 2, toil in harsh conditions. Number 3, unprotected by labor laws. Okay. Number 4, profitable for the owners. Number 5, build makeshift homes. Number 6, lost their lives. Number 7, illegal structures. Okay. Number 8, privacy. Number 9, water pipe freezes. Number 10, banned. Number 11, out of business. Okay. And number 12, loosen restrictions. Number 13, throw under the bus. Okay. This is not literal translation, but this is what it means. Okay. To get someone into trouble so you can get advantage. Okay. I will give you 30 seconds now to write it down. Write it down in your notebook. Okay. So we're going to watch the first half of the video. I want you to put check next to each word when you read it or hear it. Okay, so you're going to read the subtitles or when you hear it, just put a check mark next to it. This is going to be an easy video because it's half of it is in Korean or most of it is in Korean. We are only going to watch 5 minutes of it. Okay? All right, let's start.
Hundreds of migrant workers from across Asia toil in harsh conditions, unprotected by labor laws.
저 2015년 왔어요.
뭐 지난 4개.
우리는 한국에서 일하러 왔어요. 네. 캄보디아에서 일 많이 없잖아요. 근데 왔는데 좀 힘들어요. 한국말을 못하고 생활도 좀 어려워요. 한국에서는.
어떤 어려움 같은 게 있으신지.
có chẳng đang là dương rùa nơi nó
다 그라인 냠로 나오는
그 겨울에 화장실 비닐하우스 밖에서 있어요. 그래서 왔다 갔다 가면 너무 춥잖아요. 그리고 뜨거운 물 없어요. 찬물만 있어요. 방 너무 좁고 투명 같이 살아요. 같이 사는데 난방도 없고 방도 좀 더러워요.
이 외국인들의 이 기숙사 문제는 오래된 얘기입니다. 밤이든 낮이든 아침이든 필요할 때 나와서 이거 일을 하라고 하면은 경제적으로 유익하다 보니까 고용주들은 그거를 원하게 됐고요. 외국인 근로자 주거 문제가 된 것은 사건 사고가 굉장히 많았어요. 그래서 그 가스 파이프를 쥐가 쏘라서 가스가 방출된 다음에 폭발이 일어나서 사망하는 경우도 있고 전기 감전으로 사망하는 경우도 있고 그 스티로폼으로 된 이 판넬이 화재에 굉장히 약하거든요. 화재로 많은 외국인 근로자들이 그 사망하는 경우가 생기고 잠시 휴식하거나 그리고 물건을 이렇게 잠시 보관하기 위한 장소로 농막을 설치할 수는 있습니다. 농지에. 근데 건축법상으로 농지에다가 주거시설을 지을 수 없거든요. 그래서 우선 불법 건축물이고요. 그 안에 대부분 그 샌드위치 판넬로 임시적으로 짓다 보니까 그 생활 주거 환경에 적합한 시설을 만들기가 굉장히 어렵죠. 굉장히 위생적으로 열악하고 화장실 이거 간이 화장실 밖에다 세워놓은 거 아시는지 모르겠는데 이게 겨울 돼 보세요 이거. 또 어떤 데는 보니까 화장실 문도 없어요. 그 여자 아이들이 화장실 문도 없는 그 화장실에 가서 어떻게 볼일을 보겠어요. 그리고 이 추운 날 화장실이 500~600m 저기 밖에 있어요. 눈보라 막 치고 막 그러는데 어떻게 그 방 안에서 화장실 페트병에다가 볼일을 보고 그러더라고요.
그 수업이나 피해를 영만 터는 거. 네. 이때요. 한 달에 30만 원 냈는데 여기는 사무실요. 가끔 얼었어요.
Following the recent death of a Cambodian woman whose body was found in a vinyl greenhouse at a farm in Puchon, Gyeonggi province, the government announced that employers hiring seasonal migrant workers will now be banned from using vinyl greenhouses as living quarters for their employees. But farm owners say these measures will put them out of business.
농업이라는 현실에 보면 문 밖에 나가서 일을 해야 돼요. 그리고 일하고 들어와고 바로 씻고 그렇게 해야 된단 말이죠. 그렇지 않고 떨어져서 일하는 농업은 참 힘든 농업이에요. 그걸 비우고 나와서 다른 데 생활하라. 여기는 법적으로 지을 수가 없다. 건축물을 허가를 안 내준다. 근데 그걸 못하게 하니까 허술하게 산단 말이죠. 못하게 하니까 단속을 하니까. 그 농촌 지역에 어느 지역은 요거 숙소로 있는 지역으로 풀어줘갖고 뭘 갖춰주고 각각 근교에다가 그런 걸 해주면 좋은데, 그러니까 당사자들은 지금 죽을 맛이라는 얘기죠. 근데 당사자 죽을 맛이잖아요. 당장 사람 없죠. 집을 얻으려도 돈 없죠. 가까운 데 없죠. 그거 알아보러 다닐 시간 없죠. 벌이가 없어갖고 농가를 해야 되느냐 말아야 하는 사람들한테 돈을 더 마련해라 그러는 거고. 지금 그런 형편이에요. 그러니까 있던 애도 사람이 없는데 있던 애도 내보내라 그러는 거고.
이런 그 비닐하우스에서 농막을 짓고 사는 부분에 대해서는 허용을 해줘야 돼. 양성화 시켜서. 대한민국 사람들, 농업하는 사람들 다 거기서 살아요. 그리고 거기에서 불만 없어요. 그 다음에 저녁에도 후라시 갖고 나와서 다 비춰보고 작물이 이상이 없나 확인할 수 있고. 멀리 떨어진 데서 우리가 외국인 기숙사를 못 두는 이유도 거기에 있고.
ngày nắng dương ban mau cái lại nè khu nằng cái lại center ta hay đấy ban dương mau thì nè.
Okay, so we will end it there today, and we will continue with second half and vocabulary for next time. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video and see you next time. Bye bye.